The subcommittee will come to order. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this hearing of the Emerging Threats and Capabilities Subcommittee. Today we have before us two panels as we examine the role of the Department of Defense in foreign assistance. This committee is very familiar with how the Pentagon and our men and women in uniform contribute to our national security. But it has been a while since we've discussed this topic with an interagency panel, such as the one before us today. We are very appreciative of the chance to do so, given the importance of foreign assistance in today's uncertain and complex world. The topic and timing of today's hearing is fortuitous, not just because our committee is currently negotiating with the Senate for the FY19 National Defense Authorization Act, but also because we, as a nation, continue to face a myriad of challenges in conflict and post-conflict regions that will require a holistic, interagency, and whole-of-society approach to increase stability and reduce violence in many of the regions and countries we will discuss here today. This will involve the agencies that are before us now, but not exclusively. It will also require close working relationships with non-governmental organizations and non-federal entities, a large objective of today's hearing. This committee, and indeed this particular subcommittee in particular, conducts rigorous oversight of ongoing counterterrorism operations and activities in conflict and post-conflict countries, and understands firsthand the challenges that we as a nation face in Afghanistan, Syria, Somalia, Yemen, and Libya, to name just a few. We have continually asked hard questions in previous hearings to understand our long-term counterterrorism and security objectives, and to ensure that our successes are not only of a kinetic nature. And yet, as we approach year 18 of near constant combat, it is becoming increasingly difficult to see and realize long-term and sustainable progress in many regions. How do we ensure and measure regional and strategic effects on the battlefield that contribute to security and stability? What role does foreign assistance play? And what specific role should the Department of Defense play in support of USAID and the State Department? Today's panel here is very well qualified to help guide us through these critical and important questions on national security. Welcome to our first three witnesses, starting from my left, Mr. Jason Ladner, Director of the Office of Partnership, Strategy and Communications, U.S. Department of State, Mr. Robert Jenkins, Deputy Assistant Administrator for Democracy, Conflict, and Humanitarian Assistance, USAID, and Mr. Mark Mitchell, Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Special Operations, Low Intensity Conflict. I'd now like to recognize my friend, Ranking Member Jim Langevin of Rhode Island, for any opening statements you'd like to make.